No, see, so you said nothing was bothering you. You don't have any concerns. Well, that's the thing. The things that we're interested in dentistry, what we look at, nobody feels. Nobody feels decay. No one feels gum disease. No one feels bite stress when it's happening until it gets pretty severe.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in fact, that's the value of having an exam, is to unravel or to get to see, and hopefully the subtle thing changes so things can be intercepted early. Because the other thing about teeth is it's the only structure in the body that does not have the capacity to heal. So our teeth are literally crystals held half outside our body, half inside our body, and there are no dividing cells making more tooth. So any wear, any fillings, any breaks, that's for a lifetime. And nothing's as good as the original equipment. All our composites and golds and ceramics and the previous, mercury amalgams, which are toxic, these things are lousy compared to the original equipment. And so, to preserve as much of your natural dental resources as possible, and to look for subtle clues or very obvious ones of things that are occurring. And also part of today will be to identify what health looks like. So in fact, when I do exams, sometimes I learn more from someone's teeth, not the broken ones, but the one right next to it. Why is that one okay and the one behind it's not?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the story for today, is to kind of see what's happening.
Okay.
All right. Just give me a little idea of what dentistry's been like for you as a child, recently.
Basically, I guess my first big thing was this tooth is fake, so I had it busted off, and then it's a cap over top of it, and I had a bonding on it because it only busted off like the first or the bottom half when it happened. So I had bonding on it first, and then switched to a cap after the bonding broke off like 5 years later. And yeah, my mom was pretty good about taking me in when I was a kid to get my cleaning done and everything. And apparently my dad has, I don't know, something in his genetics to where he has amazing teeth. His last dentist said he hadn't gone to the dentist for 20 years, and they said he's a genetic anomaly. I don't think I have that, but he does. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of my history with dentistry.
Well, that's kind of interesting that your dad has been so free of dental problems, because it is pretty unusual. And in fact, I belong to an organization that's what we study, is healthy systems, folks that have exquisitely healthy teeth, very little or no wear at all, no gum disease, none or just a few restorations. Because in dental school, you know what you learn? Pathology. You get to see what's wrong. Medicine too. It's the study of what's wrong. They have yet to really introduce what health looks like. And we've all been kind of groping in it, in the alternative medicine and folks taking charge of their own health care to experience and try that pursuit of health and well-being that would be nice for all of us to know and to keep. And so if I'll offer this for your dad, if he wants to come in, and we'll take records, and I will take models and photographs, and it'll be part of a database of a group of dentists that look and study these things.
Well, he's in Illinois, but if he comes out here, I can
to visit.
Him come in. Yeah.
Okay. And it's really interesting. But back to you. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Any medical issues?
No, not recently when I was a kid, like asthma and stuff like that. But
so asthma as a kid, and that changed
and
when
allergies. Probably when I was finishing up high school, starting college is when all that kind of just went away. So.
Did you go away from it?
Yeah, I went Not too far though. It was still in
Uh-huh.
Midwest. It was like 3 hours away from home.
Yeah.
So a different environment, I think.
Yeah.
Switched that up.
Yeah, some folks, not some folks are allergic to their parents.
Sure, sure. Not a lot.
Or the house, or the
Yep,
pets
yep.
that were there,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
things
we
like
had
that.
pets I was allergic to, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
So.
supposed to be funny.
No, it was. It was. It was. I'm laughing.
But we laugh at things that are hard to say is truth.
Sure.
Do you take any vitamins or supplements?
I do. I take protein, creatine, pre-workout, which includes, probably, 10 or 15 different things in it to help with, nitric oxide flow and nitric oxide boost and, endurance.
Uh-huh.
I take a multivitamin, and that's
Right.
about all I'm taking right
Yeah.
now. So.
So you mentioned, so you're a bodybuilder, obviously.
I don't know about obviously.
Well, looking at you, okay,
Thank you.
and what you're describing in terms of supplements and is what bodybuilders do to enhance their performance.
Mhm.
And you mentioned nitrous oxide, which is a interesting sort of thing because very recently I came across some studies that speak to how common mouthwashes, the over-the-counter mouthwashes that we use, and also mouthwash by prescription that dentists used to prescribe, it's now over-the-counter also, changes the microflora in the mouth. And, antibacterial. Well, it seems to be that the antimicrobial activity of mouthwashes affects beneficial microbes, not just the ones that may cause bad breath or contribute to gum disease or decay, but are necessary for the conversion for the body to produce nitric oxide. And so literally, if you use mouthwash, you're decreasing your production of nitric oxide in your body. And this goes to many, many systems,
Mm-hmm.
And even talking dental, it's hard to talk about erectile dysfunction,
Right.
but it's one of these issues that nitric oxide is very associated with. In fact, natural ways to try to change erectile and ameliorate erectile dysfunction is taking supplements that enhance the production of nitric oxide. Well, it's just a funny scenario. Here you're using lots of mouthwash, so you get the date,
Mm-hmm.
and now the date doesn't go where you want to
Right,
because
right.
of the mouthwash.
Yep.
And so this is very interesting. One thing that I've been trying to look for is whether the herbal and mouthwashes and their effect on the production of nitric oxide in the body. And I have not been able to find anything because the question and the researchers haven't been asked. But it comes down to this basic thing. We don't want to live in the idea of antibiotics
Mhm.
and cleanings and antimicrobials, which is an old paradigm. I mean, even what we call coming to the dentist and getting cleaning, it's being hygienic. Because what we really want to have is a healthy ecology in the mouth. There's 1,600 microbes that are possible that can be resident in the mouth. Most folks have between 600 and 800 different microbes, and almost all of them are beneficial. In fact, we would not be able to live without our microbial world. So this is interesting. It's another way to start looking at both health and illness and disease, is looking at the microbial world and the microbiome. And we can maybe talk about that later if you want.
Sure.
Some more. But getting back to you and your time here, what we'll be able to do is we'll go back and we'll kind of look at everything in your mouth. and describe it to you. And we'll also take a whole series of photographs, not just x-rays, but photographs. And the benefit of that is a few things. One is I don't have to, and I will never really talk you into or tell you what you should do. I kind of wait for you to ask the questions, understand it, and then say, yeah, Alan, that's what I want. That's what I need. I understand it. And the photographs go a long way because you're seeing it. You know, it's not my description. It's not your imagination, which can go in either direction. And it's very, very helpful. And then it's also a very useful record to be able to relate to, because things that we can see and pick up in the photographs very well is much more subtle than we see in x-rays and other records that we take. So are you ready for your new dental journey?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. All right, let's go in the back and we'll take a look.
I think there's